Hi, a wonderful evening to each and every one of us. Thank you for finding time to join us this evening. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone that has been taking time to join our channel every Sunday. We have been looking at a series of topics, as you know, in this our channel. So we've looked at different facets of life. We've looked at the areas of marriage. We've looked at the areas of education. We've also looked at the area of your career. We've looked at, yeah, I think the one area that we haven't looked at is your spiritual aspect, which we hope to look at soonest. So, but this evening, we're looking at a very important topic which has to do with our personal development, which has to do with growth. That's what we're looking at this evening, growth. I would just want to welcome each and every one of us to the live session of today. If you're joining us for the very first time, you're welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, you're also welcome, depending on the time that you are seeing this broadcast. Thank you very much for joining us. We're not taking any of this for granted. We do really appreciate every bit of time that you have joined this channel. So thank you very much for finding time to join this channel. We really appreciate. So just let us know where you're joining from. I remain your host for today, uh, Ihorohan Osayuwame Timothy, joining from the United Kingdom. So just tell us where you're joining from, and we would love to know where you are joining from this evening. Thank you for joining us once again. So just sit back and Bethel, you're going to enjoy every bit of today's talk show, because though it's going to be me all alone here in the studio, but I have you as my audience. So I would love a situation whereby you'll be giving me feedback. You'll be responding to everything that we are going to be discussing here this evening. We're looking at growth. Okay, thank you very much. Akpede Ogene Gary Emmanuel, thank you for joining. This is Imam from Nigeria. Thank you for joining us this evening. We really appreciate you finding time to join this talk show this evening. Yes, others, where are you joining from? Just let us know where you're joining from. As I'm asking questions, you'll be answering. If you have questions bordering on growth, if you have questions bordering on how you hope to develop yourself, you can just pop up the question, and I'm here to try my best to make sure that I do justice to those questions here this evening. That is why we are here. We are here to see how to help ourselves grow. We are here to make sure that each and every one of us, we are moving from one stage to another. So I want to once again welcome us to today's edition of Tim-Osa Weekly Talk Show. Yes, we'll just get it started. We're looking at the topic this evening, growth. From your own understanding, what is growth? What do you understand? What do you think growth encapsulates? What do you think growth is all about? Yes, I would love to have a feedback from you. I would love to hear from you as you are also hearing from me. What is growth? What do you understand by the word growth? What do you feel growth is all about? Yeah, I think it's something that I want us to actually discuss. First of all, we are looking at that particular word, growth, growth, and I would love to say that growth is a mindset. Growth is a mindset. Yes, quote me anywhere. If you're asking me tomorrow, Timothy, what is growth? I tell you, growth is a mindset. Is your mindset. Though it can be seen as the process of increasing in size, it can be seen as the process of increasing from one point to another. It can be in size. It can be increasing in your career. It can be increasing in your spiritual life. It can be increasing in your marital. Every fixing. Anywhere there's an increase, there's automatically a growth. A growth has taken place. The process of you being asked a question, and at the same time that vacuum between asking a question and answering a question, there is growth in between. There is thinking. There is a shift in thoughts. So as at that point in time where there is a shift in thought, automatically there is something called growth that has automatically happened at that particular point. So growth, I actually said, I see growth as a mindset. One of the reasons why people actually don't grow is the fact that they have the wrong mindset. They have the wrong orientation. They have the wrong thoughts about what life is all about. You can tell me today that, Tim, you're not growing, and I have all it takes to tell you that you're lying. That yes, of a truth, I'm growing. I'm growing perfectly well. You might see me and tell me, oh, this guy is not. We're talking about the physical aspect of growth now. See me and tell me, Tim, you're not growing. Like, you're not getting taller. You're not getting fatter. I'll tell you, no, it's a lie. I'm growing taller. I'm getting fatter. That is my own mindset. That is how I built my own mind. So if you understand the fact that, mind you, not deceit, not something that you see that is very obvious that, oh, I'm not actually growing, but just because you want to prove a point, you keep telling people, oh, I am growing, and I'm very, very sure I am growing. No, that's not what I'm saying. No, you know how you're building yourself. You know what you're doing to make sure that, okay, you increase yourself. Once you understand some of these things, then that helps you to grow in different facets. That helps you to grow in different lines. That helps you to grow in your career, in your marriages, in your spiritual life, every areas of your life. Now, a part of what we do in our talk show here, we do well to accept, to give you examples of what we actually meant. Yes, as a parent, you give birth to a child, and for 2 years, thank you very much, Joy Inemali. Thank you. It's been a while. And also, thank you very much, my very good friend and my mate in my master's program, Hasib Gul. Thank you very much for finding time to join us this evening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, if you give birth to a child, at the very that child is 3-4 years. Okay, before I'll actually bring that, there was somebody actually left a year and 6-7 months plus, and when I left that child was very small, but I was sent her picture yesterday, and I can see the child jumping up and down. This was the same time when I left. She doesn't even recognize anybody. She was perfectly she was just there, like small. So why am I that this period of me living and pursuing my own career, the baby at the same time is growing. So that is physical growth. If you have given birth to a child and you see the child moving from one stage to another, that is why there's always this kind of inner joy from parents, seeing that the children that they gave birth to, they are growing from one stage to another. They are living at kindergarten, they are living at primary school, they are living secondary school, moving, growing higher. If there's anybody that can tell you my growth story, my parents can tell you, oh, they know how Tim has been growing from one stage. That doesn't mean there will not be hurdles in trying to grow. There are the hurdles on your way to destiny when you're trying to grow. So there are a lot of challenges when you're trying to grow, but the ability for you to hold on to those challenges, the ability for you to look at those challenges as not really challenge, but seeing them as a stepping stone to your success story helps you to grow. What do I mean? When we talk about growth is an increase in size, increase in years, increase in thinking, increase in everything that you are doing. That's automatically what growth is all about. Here comes the question to you: are you growing? Apart from physical growth, are you growing? Have you not been dormant in one particular area? Have you not been dormant for 5 years? Have you not been dormant for 6 years? That's why, if you're actually probably having an account and you've not used the account for like 4 or 5 years, I think that's even too much. You discover that the account becomes automatically dormant. So when an account is dormant, you have to go to the bank to see how to reopen that particular account with your ID and all that. So that is, if you are not growing, automatically you stop thinking well. You stop you stop striving to succeed. One of the reasons why people don't grow is this satisfaction mentality. It is this I have arrived mentality. If you're watching me this evening, never be comfortable at that position where you are. The day you become comfortable at that position where you find yourself, that is the day you stop growing. Don't be comfortable. You might be better than others. Never be comfortable. You getting there, it is by privilege that you are there. So you feeling you're comfortable, I'm just comfortable with this thing I'm doing, I'm comfortable with this stage I am currently, automatically you're not going to pass that stage. You just remain there. Let me bring another example. After my master's program, I just told myself, okay, I think it's time to just relax myself and all that. So I let me think, plan, and do one or two. So I was just trying to relax, and I discovered that just within the space of 3, 4, 5 months that I decided to relax, all my friends that we were probably at the same stage had a shift. Why? Because they were planning. When they were planning, I was busy sleeping, relaxing. I was busy trying to rest. I was busy trying to, think it's time to just walk and get one or two and all that. But as at that time, others were busy toiling all through the night. That is where growth occurs. Growth does not occur in a land that is not fertile. If you plant a crop today in a land that is not fertile, that plant automatically will not grow. Some of you that saw the flyer for this program, you saw the way the plant that was presented in that flyer representing the growth in it. So a lot of people, the reason why they are not growing is because their land is not fertile. That is why they are not growing. If you want to grow, you should plant the seed in a fertile land. I can speak from now till tomorrow. If people don't want to grow, they will not grow, because everything I'm saying here is not falling in a fertile ground. It's just there, and they are not receiving it hoping to make use of it, but rather they are receiving it hoping to tell others about it. That is why people don't grow. Whenever you get discussions like this, you take it in, look at the area that has affected you, look at how it can actually help you, look at how to adjust your life and work on it. It has a long way to help you. That is why a man like Napoleon Hill said something. He says, strength and growth come only by continuous effort and struggle. It comes only by continuous effort and struggle. If you don't keep trying, you cannot grow. If you don't keep pushing, you cannot grow. You might have your national diploma, you think you're comfortable there. No, there are a lot of persons there that have more than that. You might have your bachelor's degree, you think you're comfortable. There are a lot of persons that have more than that. You might have your master's degree, you think you're comfortable. There are a lot of persons that have more than that. You might have your PhD, you're comfortable. You keep striving. I was telling someone recently, I was trying to, I think I'm becoming fast now. So let me slow down. Yeah, I think it's part of what I am also trying to work on myself in that area, because I got some feedback from some persons that when I'm talking, I talk very fast. So, pardon me, is where we find ourselves and the job we find ourselves. So, we have learned to actually talk very fast. So, if you want to grow, you must keep toiling. You must keep trying. Probably you try something once and you failed. It's not a yardstick for you to just stop. If you stop like that, you stop growing. So keep trying, keep toiling, keep struggling. On a very faithful day, you will get the results. On a very faithful day, you will get the desired results. So I would want to advise each and every one of us. Part of the reason for this talk show is to see people growing excellently well, is to see people growing in different facets, is to see people growing, moving from where they are to the next stage. Never you be comfortable in that place that you find yourself. If the day you become comfortable, that is the day you stop growing. So never you be comfortable, friends. Never you be okay with that state that you find yourself. I've mingled with men, I've mingled with people, I've mingled with people higher, I've mingled with people lower, I've mingled with people of the same mentality, of the same mindset, of the same reasoning. And I've seen that the difference between the person up there and the person down here is their mindset. If you have a wrong mindset, you cannot grow. You can, no matter how you try, you cannot grow. And whenever you are thinking, have a short-term plan, have a middle plan, and have a long-term plan. You begin to see that in trying to achieve your long-term plan, learn to change the long-term plan. In trying to achieve the long-term plan, you begin to see that the short-term plan and the middle plan, you are achieving them simultaneously. That is growth. What do I mean? In 5 years' time, I want to become a doctor. I want to become a PhD holder. I want to become a well-known person in my field of study. In 6 years' time, I want to do this. In 2 years' time, okay, I want to round up this program. I want to go for this course. I want to do this. I want to settle family. I want to do that. In having those plans, you begin to chase the one of the 5, 6 years. And in chasing that, you begin to see that the one of 2 years, 3 years, you begin to settle them simultaneously. That is how growth occurs. Those that knew me 7 years, because those that are on my WhatsApp status, at times I upload some throwback pitch. Like, there's some pictures I took 7 years ago. If you see me and the picture now, you will thank God on my behalf, because there are a lot of differences that have taken place within this short period of time. While at the same time, there are some persons that we were together at that same time, they are still in the same position where we were 7 years ago. To them, it's just normal. To them, I will, because of that spirit of I will, because of that procrastination that is embedded in them, they still remain in one particular position, not making desired progress. So this is the reason why people are not actually making move. They are not getting it right. Not because they don't want to get it, but because of the fact that they are having the wrong mindsets. They are having one of the most deadly things in life is to have the wrong mindset, moving with the wrong set of persons. At times I begin to sit. I begin to think how life has been so far. What has been my contribution? What has been how God has helped me thus far? How I have seen a life itself, and I was able to see, okay, I think I have to confront this thing, trusting God for a better life. Just because I was so I'm a curious person, yes. I was having this quest for growth. I don't want to, like, I see it as a problem meeting me the same place you left me last week. Yes, I see it as a problem. Every day of my life, I want to learn something new. I want to ask questions. I want to learn from you the same way you're learning from me. In fact, today, I was opportune to speak with somebody, and I learned a lot from her. This is somebody that I haven't spoken to for quite a long time. So we had the opportunity of actually discussing today, and we shared views. And within a period of sharing that view, I learned a lot as a person. So if you want to grow, learn to be approachable, learn to move with people, learn to set your goals. Set your goals. What do you hope to achieve at the end of the day? What do you hope to achieve at the end of the week? What do you hope to achieve at the end of the month? What do you hope to achieve at the end of the year? There are people that at the beginning of the year, they wrote some plans for the year. The year 2022, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to achieve that. This is already the 8th month, already running, or the 8th month almost coming to an end. They have not been able to achieve one. Not because they don't want to achieve it, but because they lack self-discipline, they've not been able to achieve it. At the same time, because of this fear, the fear of what if it fails, the day you entertain fear in you, that is the day you stop growing. Friends, if you want to grow, you must uproot the roots of fear first before you can think of growing. Because if you don't uproot that root of fear, you can never, I repeat, sorry to say, you can never grow. Fear is normal, it comes normally, but the ability for you to tackle that root of fear in you helps you to grow as a person. I've seen cases whereby people, they are 35 years, 40 years, not yet married. Not because they don't want to marry, just because they are afraid of a failed marriage. Because they are afraid of failing a marriage, automatically they are failing their generation. Do you understand? Thank you. So if you have questions, you can just drop it on the comment section, and I will answer the question as much as I can. So these are some of the things that we should look into. Growing entails you being you are very, very conscious of what you are doing. You are conscious that yes, I want to grow. I want to grow. In your career, you can decide, I want to grow in this particular field of study. I want to grow. Because you want to grow, because okay, let me just share this with you. About 3 years ago, 3 years ago, after leaving university, and I think that was when I was 7, I had some contact with some friends that actually just said, see, if you want to actually, mind you, when I was in my university, when I saw my lecturer, one of my lecturers always coming to class to come and teach or to come and lecture, the way he talks and everything, I already had a plan. Okay, I think I'd love to go do my master's outside the country. And I was already having that plan as a long-term plan. In order to achieve that long-term plan, the short-term plan of graduating well, meeting with the right set of persons, I was able to achieve those short-term plans just because I've been able to put my long-term plans in good shape. Get it? So it wasn't, I know it wasn't going to be easy for me to achieve my long-term plan. It's not going to be immediately. It's not going to be something that I'll just wake up and do. No, I didn't just wake up and decide to leave. But it's something that I started monitoring right from my 200 level in school. How it's going to happen, I don't know. But I knew it's something that will surely happen. That is how growth occurs. So when you are now moving to that direction, when you are now beginning to see people that are having the same passion with you, you know how to bring them in, you know how to connect, because that is already your passion. That is something that you already have in your mind that you want to do. Maybe let's bring it down. You are here, you are thinking, okay, I read mechanical engineering. Okay, I want to, in 5 years' time, I want to have my master's. I want to do this in the field of engineering. And it's good, yes, good long-term plan. In achieving that, you begin to attend seminars. You begin to attend workshops. You begin to attend online classes where those classes that will help you achieve some of those goals, those classes that will help you achieve some of those dreams in life. In trying to equip yourself for the battle or for the journey ahead, or in trying to achieve that plan of 5 6 years from now, you begin to see that the short-term plan, the middle-term plan, you are achieving them simultaneously. So in running this race, or in attending this workshop, in attending this seminar, you begin to meet with people of like minds. You begin to meet with people that say that have said, oh, I think 5 years time I want to have my master's too. Oh, I think I've gotten my master's in this same field. You cannot relate. Sir, how were you able to get this? Ma, how were you able to get this? How were you able to achieve this goal? The person might not know your long-term plan. The person's mind is just, okay, this person is just asking for asking, say, let me just answer this person. And trying to gather information, you're putting it down, you're jotting some things, and before you know it, you are already equipped for the journey ahead. Growth doesn't just occur overnight. Growth is as a result of continuous work, continuous putting effort into a particular thing. You don't just plant corn today and get the corn tomorrow. No, I've been a farmer. I know what it means to go through the planting season. I know what it means to go through the waiting period. I know what it means to get the harvest. I know the joy it feels when you are harvesting your crops. That is the different stages. If you are a farmer, you start, is a process. First of all, you sit down to plan. What do I want to achieve for the year? Where do I farm for this year? I have different land. Where do I farm? You just, okay, I'll farm this too. Okay. You are now waiting for the right season to come for you to go and clear. You go and clear at first. After clearing the farm, the next thing is to burn. You decide to burn it. And all these things, that you don't just do them haphazardly. That's why I said it's a process. Sorry. Thank you. You don't just do them haphazardly, but rather you do them following the right processes in doing all these things. So in doing some of these things, after burning, you pack. It's something that I've done, so it's not quite strange to me. So you pack. After packing, if you want to plant yam, if you want to plant corn, if you want to plant cassava, that is the period you allocate different areas. There are some that you can't plant together. There are some that you have to you can do them together. There are some you have to wait for some to grow before you plant others. So they have different techniques in doing all these things. Those are the planning period. After planning and you have planted, now is maintenance. You start clearing, trying to maintain. The period of maintaining and all that, that is called the waiting period. That is the period that your plans you have put in place, you are trying to see how it turns out to be. So in 6-7 months time, or there are some in 1 week time, you begin to see the plant growing gradually. There's this joy that emanates from you when you see what you have put inside the ground. They are growing. That is the same thing that happens when parents see that the children that they labored for at a very young age, they are growing. So you begin to see that this growth is gradually occurring. People are getting it. So that is how growth occurs. In fact, or if you are planting something like cassava, at the end of the day, when you've gone to uproot it, you grind it, you jack it and all that, after everything, you now decide to come out with the final product. There's this joy that emanates from you. People want to enjoy that final product, but they don't know the stress that you have gone through for the past 1 year. Growth attracts crowd. Mind you, growth attracts both friends and foes. Growth attracts different, because I have to still bring you back to crops. Once you plant crops like this, if you don't maintain it very well, different weeds, different type of unwanted crops begin to grow with it. So if you don't, as at that point in time, if you don't sit down and think of those that align with your mission and vision, you begin to deviate. That is the reason why people, Mr. Gabriel, thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That is the reason why, at the long run, people, they are trying to grow. Some unwanted friends, once they enter, you see that the growth mentality leaves them. You see that those people chasing dream, chasing destiny, they begin to forget the fact that they started even chasing. They are not chasing shadows. Let's bring it down to our crops. Once you have crops, you planted it, is growing gradually, and you don't remove those unwanted weed and all that around it, you see that crops will not grow well. It will not grow well. So those are some of the things that we need to actually remove. Yes, I think we'll just quickly answer one. Yes, we have one question here. So what about if you know what you want and you can picture it in your mind, or you are confused on what to do or where to start? Thank you very much for this question, Mr. Emmanuel. Yes, actually, there are some persons that know what to do. See, when you have a vision, when you have something you are chasing, you don't allow anything to confuse you. Let me bring it down. This question is almost directing to probably not knowing where, not that you don't know where to start, sorry to say, but is probably relating to the fact that maybe the finance is not there to start. Because if I decide to say, okay, Mr. Emmanuel, take this 2 million naira, you will know where to start automatically. You will just look for a place and start. So why do I bring that in? Once you have a dream, sincerely, for those that actually know, and I'll keep sharing the story. I had the dream of going for my master's abroad, but I don't know how to start and where to start. It took me time to start asking questions, to start relating with people, to start doing research. I wasn't having the money, but I was just doing research. Okay, how will I go about this? I remember there was a day I went to see one of my lecturers, and I was asking him how he traveled abroad, and he told me, Tim, if you don't have the full finance to go and study outside the country, don't just bother to go. He was speaking from his own point of view, but that took me to going back to my drawing board to write down some things, to rewrite some things. In your journey of life, in your journey of growth, there are bound to be some distractions, even from some so-called trusted persons. There are bound to be distractions, but the ability for you to look at those distractions as stepping stone to your destiny, that helps you to grow. What do I mean? Once you are on this journey, there's nothing like being confused, but it boils down to stating what you need as at when you need it. Putting the right thing first before bringing in what you don't need. If you probably you have the plan of maybe going out to study and you don't have money. Yes, you know you don't have money. Probably you are just doing some job and they are paying you 10,000 naira, which is nothing. You receive your salary and the first thing you think of, okay, let me subscribe my phone. Yeah, let me go get one or two trousers. Before you know it, the money that you have got for that month is gone. Automatically, no plan. You are supposed to be, even though it's 1 naira, you put it aside. Mind you, it's a long-term plan. It's not traveling abroad. It only becomes a short-term plan when you are financially stable. But if you are not financially stable, it happens to be a long-term plan. You start planning long ago. You start planning for it. So if you begin to gather something small, and sincerely, some persons here will bear me witness. When I started my process, like I was still 7 years. When I told my friend Enoch, I was like, Enoch, I think what we are going to do, let's think of going to study outside. And we started applying for a scholarship program in Hungary. And when we started the application, we were just applying, and they requested for our transcripts. I remember then I left Delta State. I ran to my school in Uniben, requested for my transcripts. The school was like, what do you need your transcript for? You are the first person coming in this full faculty to request for transcripts and certificates. I requested for my transcripts in my set. I requested for my certificates. I had them. Just I don't. As at that time, I know I might not use them, but let me just have them, because sincerely, I hate it when my property is with you. I don't like it. Except I decide to give it to you, but when I know it's mine, like I need it, let me just hold it. So I just collected everything I know I need to. Like, I remember somebody telling me the first step to travel is the ability for you to get your international passport. So I moved. I wasn't having money to do my international passport. I remember calling somebody. I just called. I said, please, I need to do my international passport. I don't have money. And I have scholarship to apply for in Hungary. The person was like, Tim, the only way I will give you this money to do your international passport is for you to promise me that that international passport will not stay 5 years without a stamp entry. That was the promise I gave to the person. I said, okay, no problem. It will not stay. I just said it from my head, not knowing how to do that, how to go about that. So the person sent me the money. I remember then we ran to the immigration office in Warri, did my international passport, and I applied for the scholarship in Hungary, which did not work out. I was like, okay, I think I need to get other plans done. So that's how I started thinking of other things to do, not having a dime. Sincerely, before I brought my, before I came to my dad to request for anything at all, was then I've gotten admission. I've accepted the admission. That is when I came to my dad. I said, Daddy, I want to go and do my master's in the UK. Yes, this is the admission letter. This is everything. And he was like, what do you want? The money wasn't there to say, okay, take it. But when he saw the passion and the zeal that I came with, he knew, okay, this guy is actually serious about what he wants. He knows what he actually wants. So let's see how we can support him. So that's when he gave me the first 200,000. I said, okay, you take this to be doing your running around. So that's how I started doing my running around. Okay, let me go to Abuja. Let me do this. I was just doing my running around. That's how I actually, because that's not the topic for today. So I'm just trying to answer your question, Mr. Emmanuel, that it's not that in the midst of confusion, just keep moving. You get it right along the line. Just don't stop. Just keep, just like somebody that is in the bush running. Just keep running. A time will come, you get to a point that this is where I find myself. And you begin to, as a result of the plan that you have had over time, where you finally get yourself, you will be shocked. I think I've tried answering the question, Mr. Emmanuel. So it's not that you are confused, but just look for a place to start. The place of starting can just be picking your pen and paper to start writing a statement of purpose. The place to start might just be going online to Google how to write statement of purpose, and you get one written out. The place of starting might just be the point you tell yourself which school offers a fully funded scholarship. You begin to write out the things they need. You don't need money to do those things. The place of starting can just be the point of reaching out to somebody you feel has gone through the road and say, please, I want to get information about this thing. Just let me know when you are less busy. And the person books a time for you. Like, sincerely, like people come to me almost, I attend to people almost on a daily basis. I try as much as I can. I know I'll fail a lot of persons because at times I can be so busy that I actually forgot I have schedule for the day. So I had to start putting some things in my calendar to make sure that, okay, I remember, okay, that I have this particular schedule and all that. So those are part of the way you grow. It's not that you actually do not want to move, but I know along the line there will be factors. Yes, this is me saying this. I think 6 months to my traveling, I had a very terrible accident that would have killed my life. A very terrible accident. Yes, I was driving, my car failed brake, and it was deadly. Those are part of the challenges you get along the line. It doesn't always come easy. But these are things that a lot of persons do not know. These are things those are my personal story that tomorrow I'll be proud to say, okay, these are the things that one has passed through before he or she was able to get to where I want to go. So those are the things that I feel you can, or those are the way I feel you can actually start with Mr. Emmanuel. So I will just briefly, if you have other questions, you can still pop it up. Let's see how to answer the question. Calvin Coolidge said something. He said all growth depends on activity. There is no development physically or intellectually without efforts. And effort means work. Effort means work. There is no growth without efforts. Any growth you see, there's an effort has been put in place. A lot of things have gone into it before that growth occurs. Any growth you see today is as a result of efforts that have gone through it. So if you want to grow, you have to put on you have to make sure that your full mind is in it. You are ready to do this particular thing. So that is how to grow. Growth is not guaranteed as a result of consistency in doing something positive. There are 5 factors that I'm going to share with us briefly before I'm just going to do this for 1 hour. So I've spent for 3 minutes already. So I just have barely, I think, 13 minutes or so, if I'm not mistaken. So I have to just quickly rush through these 5 factors that affect people from growing. One is efforts. People don't put efforts in what they are doing, and it affects their growth. You hear people's testimony. You hear people, sorry, just have to drink water. Thank you. Sorry. So you hear people sharing testimony of how they are growing in different area. You see, okay, was it not recently? Yeah, I saw online people saying, oh, Suleiman's daughter is doing well. Oh, look at, she's conducting deliverance, she's doing this and all that. Probably a lot of effort has been put into that. It didn't just wake up one morning and begin to do it. Okay, me that you are seeing here speaking to you today now, there were times that I can't even look at a camera. A lot of effort has been put into it. A lot of sacrifices have been made. So that's how it works. Please, what I would just plead with you for, yes, I think let me just use the opportunity to say this. Please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please, I'm doing this for free, so you can just please help me subscribe. Then do me a favor, share it so that others will see it. Please, this is me begging you now. Please help me share it so that others can have access to it too. Then tell your friends to help me subscribe too. It means a lot to me. On my Facebook, Sir Tim-Osa Media, then on my YouTube, Sir Tim-Osa Media, help me subscribe so that you see. There are times that thoughts just come and I post videos. Yeah, those are the only way that you can tell me thank you for probably what I'm doing. I know it's small, yeah, I know, but I can actually be using this time to say, okay, let me sleep or do something with my life. But here am I trying to make sure I see how to share my own view and help others grow too. So please help me click on the like button, follow my page, and help me share so that others can see it. Comment on the post, like it is very important. All these things, they are very, very important to me. Thank you very much for your support thus far. So let's continue. I've talked about effort. Efforts, people don't put effort into what they are doing. That is why it's difficult for them to grow. You try a particular project today, you fail, they are done with that project. I wonder how they want to grow. You do a particular thing and it's not going the way you plan it. You just leave it. I wonder how you want to grow. Not the best way to grow. So if you want to actually grow, then you need to keep trying. It's very, very important. It's not something that is actually negotiable. It's something that is very, very important. It's something that you have to just do. Efforts. It's very, very important. You put effort in whatever you are doing. Secondly, environments. The environment you find yourself is very, very important. Yes, you might find yourself in a wrong environment. I think I have to also talk about this area. You might find yourself in a wrong environment. You can make a difference in that environment. Environment contribute to people's failure a lot. I've seen it. But the ability for you to look over the environment you find yourself and help yourself to grow, stretch yourself. See, I always tell people, we are young. We are still very young. So if there's any time that you can stretch yourself, is now. Stretch yourself, do whatever you need to do, so that when you eventually get that breakthrough tomorrow, you have time to relax. Not tomorrow, your children, they are not asking you, Daddy. Joke apart now. Like, I think it's the quest for giving children a better life and getting a better secured future for one's family that is probably driving me to do some things I'm doing. I happens to be one of such person that, hopefully, few months, or is it few months? Okay, few months from now, probably I will not be doing this alone. I'll have somebody by my side and we are doing it together. Somebody shout hallelujah. The quest for having a better life and a better future has made me to choose this path. Yes, because I as a young boy growing up, I've seen people when they want to do their wedding. You see people contributing money. You see people trying to, let's support him for his wedding. Let's support her. And you see, like, at times, because I did a lot of best man work while growing up. So at times I ask them, have you bought your suits? Have you gotten the food yet? Have you gotten? Tell me, Tim, there's no money. I've not gotten that. Marriage is just approaching. And luckily, like 2 days to marriage, miracle just happened. And they marry. To God be the glory. I'll go back to my house and cry and say, God, never. God, let my marriage can. So, like, at the time, I just told myself, no, if this is what it is, then I quit. So the quest of, okay, for me to change this particular narrative, it keeps me striving to make sure that when it's eventually happening tomorrow, I don't need to depend on anybody to do it. So you can see that's where I talked about mindset comes in. That is a mindset that I have and is helping me to grow. So your own mindset can be different from what mine is, but let it be that your mindset is actually helping you to grow. That is the focal point. Let it be that your mindset is actually leading you to grow and not restricting you from getting what you ought to get in life. So the environment you find yourself, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Keep moving. Even though things are not working well, keep moving. You will surely get there. It's very, very important. I assure you that I've tried it, and you see, I think probably we have to do kind of a private chatting so that I'll actually tell you some of my personal encounter and how God has actually helped me till now. So, like, there are times that you need to just do something. So the environment you find yourself, don't allow your environment to push you down. It is one of the things that hinder people from actually getting or from growing in life. Was it last week? I was watching some documentary online. I saw the documentary of a young boy that was living in Ajegule. I don't know if it's Ajegule, but was living in the streets in Lagos, and the young boy did a video requesting for one pastor, also a philanthropist, to come and help him and all that. So the video came across the man, and the man was moved, and the man went to the street to go and look for that young boy. Imagine a boy of 7, 8 already smoking dangerous Indian, and you can see it. This boy's life was 90% destroyed. But this man accepted this boy, took him to his foundation, cleaned the life of this boy. In fact, few years after, this boy was now a minister of the gospel. He was not the one advising people to stay away from smoking, to stay away from drinking. You see how environment has contributed to killing the lives of a lot of persons. So I'm just telling you this evening, to everyone watching, don't allow your environment to hold you down. Don't. I repeat, don't. Your environment should not be a factor that will hold you down from getting what you ought to get. Please and please. Environment, I've talked about efforts. I've talked about environment. And the third one is encouragement. Yeah, these are things that affect people from growing. But I want to be telling you that don't allow it to affect you. It may affect others. Yes, encouragement. People keep saying, oh, nobody is encouraging me. That's why I did not grow. Nobody is encouraging me. That's why I did not do this. Friends, as much as we need encouragement, you don't need encouragement to grow. Yes, I can say this over and over again. The best encouragement you can ever get in this life is you encouraging yourself. Then that's where you now begin to think, what if I had nobody to help? Yes. I'm thinking if I can stand. Yes. That's when you now begin to think, what if I have nobody to actually help me to get this particular thing? So if there is nobody to help you, at that point you need to stand up and fight for your own self. So encouragement is important, I know, but it's something that each and every one of us, we need to learn to do without. It's something that you need to learn to do things on your own without waiting for people to actually encourage you. No matter where you find yourself, no matter the situation that you find yourself, or no matter where you find yourself, you need to learn to encourage yourself. That's the third one. Then equipping. That's the fourth one. Before you begin any journey, you have to learn to equip yourself with whether information, with all the nitty-gritty of what you intend doing. So these are the things that you need to ask questions. You need to get to the public, ask questions, understand what you're getting yourself involved in. It's very important to do that. Understand it. What do you need? What are the things that you need to avoid? What are the pitfalls? What are the things that will actually stand as a blockade for you? So once you begin to outline some of these things, you don't allow them to affect you. Equip yourself with information. Equip yourself with the right reasoning. Equip yourself with the right set of friends. If your friends, they are not on the same line with you, I won't say cut them off, move away. It's very important. You have your own life to answer. You have your own destiny to face. You were not born with anybody. You came to this life all alone. So your destiny is in your hand. You need to rise up and fight for what is rightfully yours. So if you don't get it right at this time, I wonder when you're going to get it right. If you don't stand and fight for your destiny at this time, I wonder when you are going to fight for your own destiny. So friends, is something that is very, very important that we begin to do at this point in time. So rise up and fight for your own destiny. It's very important we do that. Equip yourself with the right information. Equip yourself with the right set of friends. Equip yourself with the right set of people. Equip yourself with the right knowledge. Equip yourself with the right mentality. Equip yourself with the right mind. Be focused. Be focused. Lack of equipping yourself with the right set of persons or with the right information will lead to you not growing. And the last one, energy. Energy. See, at the journey of growing, people don't take care of themselves. That is why you see people fade away before they are celebrated. They fade away because they don't take care of themselves. They don't eat well. They don't get the necessary probably energy drinks. They don't take care of themselves, and before you know it, they fade away. So, as a human, if you want to grow, then you must learn to take care of your physical body. Is very important. It's very, very important. I personally, I don't joke with it. So it's very important you don't joke with some of these things. So learn to take care of your physical bodies. It is very, very important. It is very, very important. So take care of your physical body. Take care of every part of you. It's very important you do some of these things. So I think my time is already running out, and I would just want to probably wrap up what I've been saying so that I can round up, because I want it to be 1 hour so that I can do well to replay it probably later on after now. So I've talked about growth. I've talked about some things that hinders growth. I've talked about the fact that you need to be intentional about what you're doing. You need to be intentional about your growth. You need to be intentional about your plans. You need to be intentional about the kind of people you move with. You need to be intentional about your thinking. If you get the wrong thinking, you're done for the journey of growing. You must get the right thinking. You must get the right set of persons. You must get it right both mentally. You must get it right both spiritually. You must get it right otherwise. Yes, lastly, when you are trying to grow, don't forget the God factor. Don't forget the God factor. Learn to always carry the God factor along. Without God, you can't grow. I will repeat, without God, you can't grow. Before you move anywhere, before you embark on any journey, learn to always carry God along. Learn to always allow God to take the lead. Learn to always allow God to lead you. It's very, very important. Always learn to align the God factor, align with God factor. Ask God, is that his plan for you? The plan that you have currently, is that God's plan for you? If that's not God's plan for you, you might keep trying and it might not work out. I have 1,001 testimonies to share about that area too. So ask God if that is actually his plan and purpose for you as an individual. So for now, thank you very much for finding time to join us on this show this evening. We hope to see you again on our social media page next time. If you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe to our pages. Tim-Osa Media on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. Learn to please subscribe. Until then, I'll see you again next week. Thank you for joining us, and I appreciate it. Until next week, you'll be seeing some clips, you'll be seeing some write-up. For now, bye-bye. Thank you very much, Emmanuel and others, for joining us. I really, really appreciate your time. For now, have a good night rest. Bye-bye.